When you use one of the Thrive Theme Builder companion themes, such as Kwik, you don't have to stick to the default templates. You can completely transform the entire design to give your website a custom-built look, and you don't need to be a designer to do it. I'll show you how. Hey there, I'm Christine with Thrive Themes. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, don't forget to do that, and if you ring the bell, you'll be notified when we publish new videos. So in Thrive Theme Builder, you currently have 3 different companion theme choices. All 3 are fantastic, but Kwik was built for speed, and so that is what we'll be using today. Now what's really nice about our companion themes is that it's super easy to swap out the template text, images, and colors for your own. But in this video, I want to encourage you to do even more, to go for a drastically different look, to not be afraid to use different kinds of backgrounds, to change button shapes, and to move elements around. And that way you can build a website that is uniquely yours. Sound good? Let's dive right in. Okay, so we are here in the Thrive Theme Builder dashboard. Let's go ahead and go to the Themes tab. Now, if you are an existing user, you'll need to add Kwik to your theme manager. If you're a new user, you'll be able to select Kwik during the guided setup process. So let's go ahead and click Add Theme. Let's click Load from the Thrive Cloud. Here's the Kwik theme, and I'll click Download. And let's go to the Kwik theme and click Activate. Okay, so now we are in the site wizard and we can start setting up our website. Let's click Get Started. So starting with your logo, you can upload a dark logo for use on light backgrounds and a light logo for use on dark backgrounds. To upload your logo, simply click inside of this square here. And if you need to upload your file, you can click the Upload File tab. I've already got mine inside of the media library, so I'll simply select it and then click Select. And I'll do the same thing for the light logo. And now I'll click Choose and Continue. Next, you can choose a main brand color. To change this color here, simply click on the swatch and use the color picker to choose a new color. Next, let's choose a header design. To view all of the options, click on the drop-down in the upper right-hand corner. Now, even though you do have several options here, maybe what you've envisioned isn't quite like anything that's shown here. So for example, let's say that you like this layout here, but you want light text over a dark background like this design over here. So should you choose the dark one and then change the layout, or should you choose the one with the layout that you like and then change the colors? Well, you can actually do either one, but I personally prefer to choose the one with the layout that I like and then change the colors. For me, that seems like a little bit less work. But Thrive Theme Builder is very flexible, so you can choose whichever option feels better for you. So I'll go ahead and choose this option, and then I'll click Choose and Continue. Next, let's take a look at the footer options. As you can see, there are lots of different designs to choose from, but let's say that I like this layout here, but there's some tweaks that I want to make. For example, let's say that I want white text on a black background, I want these columns here to be sized differently, and I want these social icons to be over here instead. All of this is easy to change, so I'll go ahead and I'll select this layout, and I'll click Choose and Continue, and I'll just plan to make my customizations later. Next, your home page layout. Let's take a look at all of the options. So again, you have several different designs to choose from. Now you might spend a few minutes looking these over to find that maybe you like the majority of a page, but maybe there are sections that you don't need, or maybe it lacks sections that you want to include. Just choose the layout that suits your needs best, because the order of the sections can be changed. You can also easily add and remove sections as needed. Also, backgrounds can easily be changed, button styles, and more. So for now, I'll go ahead and choose this layout. Next, let's choose a design for single blog posts. There's several different designs to choose from here. I'll go ahead and choose this one. Next, let's choose a layout for our blog post list. So this is our blog roll page. This one looks nice. And let's choose a layout for our pages. So these are for pages like your About page or your Contact page. Again, you have several choices here. I'll go ahead and choose this one. All right, so next we have menus. If you've already created your menus in WordPress, they will be available here, and you can choose a particular menu for your header and one for your footer. Now, if you want to add things like icons or images to your menu, then you'll need to use the custom menu element and build your menu when you customize your header and footer. So because we want to create a really unique looking site, we are going to use a custom menu and we'll build it later, which means that here we can simply select continue without choosing a menu. Now, if you want to sell physical products, digital products like ebooks or online courses, then you can use WooCommerce to create your e-commerce environment. And after you install WooCommerce, you'll see the options here to choose your shop header, shop footer, homepage, etc., just like you did for your main website. We're going to skip this for now so that we can get to the meat of the tutorial, but here is where you can choose your WooCommerce templates. When you're finished with the site wizard, the next thing to do is set up Smart Site. So you'll need to go to the Thrive dashboard, which is where we are now. Now let's scroll down to find Smart Site. Here it is, and let's click Smart Settings. So here is where you can fill in your global fields. If there's a piece of information that will be used multiple times on your site, like for example your company's name and address, you can fill it out here once so that you don't have to fill it out multiple times on your website. And if your information changes, instead of changing it in multiple places, you can simply come here, change it once, and it will automatically update everywhere else on your site. So global fields are very handy. So let's go ahead and fill in the rest of our company information. Next, in the legal section here, you can specify the proper links for your privacy policy page, your disclaimer page, your terms and conditions page, and your contact page. Now you will have to create these pages first in order to paste in their links. And you would do that by going to the Pages tab in WordPress, then click Add New. Then let's go ahead and give this page a name. And I'll go ahead and publish it just so that I can get the link. Then I'll go ahead and copy this link here. Now I'll head back to Smart Site and I'll go ahead and edit the disclaimer field and I'll simply paste in the link URL. Now you'll notice that I didn't take the time to fully flesh out my disclaimer page. I just wanted to create the page so that I could get the link, and then you can go back later and finish setting up the page. Now the last section in global fields is the social section. So here you can paste in the link to each of your social media profiles so that people can follow you. So here we have the home page. This is the template that I chose, but it's going to look very different when we're done with it. And if we keep scrolling to the bottom, we'll see that the global fields have filled out our company information here in the footer. Okay, so now let's dive into customization. First up, fonts. To customize the fonts for your entire website, you'll need to go to Thrive Theme Builder, which is where we are now. And so now let's go to the Typography tab. So this is our current typography set. Let's go ahead and click the pencil icon to edit it. And here are all of the different kinds of typography on your website. You can customize individual elements by simply clicking on one and then using the options over here on the left. But let's go ahead and let's customize all of our headings at once. To do that, I'll simply click the middle green line here. I'll make sure that all headings are highlighted in the breadcrumbs. And now I'll go over to the left and I'll choose a different font. Now I am going to stick with web-safe fonts, and this will ensure that my website will be fast loading. Web-safe fonts generally come pre-installed on most systems, so if you stick with web-safe fonts on your website, then when someone visits your site, their computer or device won't have to fetch additional fonts just to display the pages on your site properly. So I'll go ahead and select web-safe fonts, and then I'll choose from these font families. I'll go ahead and choose Impact, Charcoal, and Sans Serif, and I'll click Apply. Okay, so next I would like to change all of the paragraph typography all at once. So I'll click the middle green line here. You'll see that all text is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, and then I'll go ahead and choose a new font set. Now I just changed the fonts, but note that you can also change the color, you can change the letter case, you can change the alignment, and more. When you're finished making your customizations, click Save Work. Next, let's take a look at the Templates tab in Thrive Theme Builder. So we are currently here in the Thrive Theme Builder dashboard, and we're going to go to the Templates tab. So here is where you can access all of the templates for your website. So you have your home page, you have your default post template. If you have a podcast, then you can use the audio post template for those. If you have a YouTube channel, then you can use the default video post template. You have a default page template for pages like your About page or your Contact page. You also have a default Error 404 template. Now let's skip down here. Your default blog template will display your blog posts, and you have a default archive template for displaying things like all posts in a given category or all posts by a particular author. And the templates in purple are your WooCommerce templates. So here is where you will come to make customizations for all of these templates. Today we are going to customize the home page, and then we'll also take a quick look at the default post template, and I think that will be enough to get you on your way. So let's go to the active home page and let's click Edit Landing Page. So here is the default layout of the design that we've selected. As you can see, it is mostly light colored backgrounds with dark text. Now let's take a look at where we are headed. Overall, I think the change that will have the biggest visual impact is that we're going to introduce more dark backgrounds with light colored text. We're also going to change the shape of some of the buttons and some of the containers, and we'll also introduce background patterns like this one, and we'll eliminate and reposition some of the elements. So the header has more or less the same layout, but the colors are different. This hero section here is swapped right for left, and the colors are different as well. In this section here, we've removed one of the columns. Now in the Our Story section, we've actually combined the Our Story section and the Meet Our Team section, and you'll be able to see just how easy it is to move elements around. I've added this section here that describes our services because there wasn't a section for that yet. This testimonials section has a completely different design to it, and you'll be able to see just how easy it is to completely change the design in just a few clicks. I've customized the case study section by changing the colors. There's also an interesting background added to this section, and I've also changed the shape of these images. In this next section, I've changed the shape of this button here, and I've changed the background color. And finally, in the footer, I've moved the social icons from down here over here to the left, and I've adjusted some of the column widths. So when you compare the two pages, you can see that it's still reminiscent of the Kwik theme, but after making my customizations, the new page has a very different look. All right, so let's head back to Thrive Architect. To begin your customizations, I would recommend looking over the structure of the entire page and making sure that the sections are what you want first. So if there's any sections that you don't need, you can easily get rid of them by selecting the section. For example, I can click in this one, make sure that the right section is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, and then you can use the trash can icon to get rid of it. You can also move sections around by clicking in the section, make sure that the section is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, and then you can use the crosshairs icon and just click and drag the section to where you want it. And you can also add blocks or sections if needed. To add a block, you can simply click the Add Block button that appears between sections, or you can go to the Add Element button, and then you can click and drag a block into place. So as you can see, there are dozens of blocks to choose from. You can also use the list on the left to sort. I'll go to the Benefits blocks, and let's go ahead and choose this design. All right, so now that our sections are in place, let's start customizing the text, images, backgrounds, buttons, and more. And let's go ahead and start with the header. Now the header is a linked section, which means that this header is used on other templates as well. So any changes I make to this header will be reflected on the other templates. Now, if I want to change the header just for this template, then I can click the Change Header button, and all of our changes will just be reflected on this particular template. But I want the customizations that I'm making right now to be reflected on all of my templates, so I'll use the Edit Header button instead. Now, if you'll notice this orange outline around this window here, this means that right now we are in a sub-menu of sorts, so we are restricted to editing the header only. So let's say that I like this header layout, but I would like a dark background with light colored text. To do that, let's click inside the header, make sure that header is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then let's go to Background Style, and we can see that we do have a color specified here. I'll click on it to change it, and I'll choose a new color. Now, a number of items in the menu have disappeared, and that's because we have black text on top of a black background. So let's fix that. So over here on the left, I know that we had some social icons here. So I've clicked here and I can see that social follow is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Now let's go to the main options tab and let's choose a new color. Okay, so now we can actually see our social icons. Now, if you like, you can also change the style of these icons by going to the style drop down here. And there's a few different styles to choose from. I'll go ahead and choose this one. Now, the links for these social networks will be pulled from our Smart Site settings. If you would like to edit which social networks are shown, you can do that by clicking on the check marks here. And to edit the associated links, simply click on the pencil icon, and then you can input a new link if you like. Next, our logo has disappeared because it is black on black. So let's click on this logo here. Then under logo options on the left, we can actually see that there is both light and dark versions of our logo because they were both uploaded in the Thrive Theme Builder site wizard. So now we can simply select the correct one to use. So I'll select the light one, and now we can see it in our header. While we're here, let's also make the logo just a little bit larger. Next, there was a call to action button on the right which has disappeared. So here it is. Now I would like to make the button background white and the button text black. So let's select the button in the breadcrumbs. Then let's go to the background style tab and let's add a solid color. And I'll specify white for the color. Next, let's also round the corners so it looks a little more like a button. So let's go to Borders and Corners, and I'll simply increase the corner radius. And I'll go ahead and remove this 3-pixel border since a black border on a black background can't be seen anyway. Next, let's address the hover state for this button. So if I hover my mouse over the button, we can see that the button kind of disappears because the background changes. Let's adjust that. So over here on the left under state, let's change this to hover. And so now we can specify what the button will look like in its hover state. So let's get rid of this 3-pixel border. Let's go to the background style tab and let's change the color. And I'm happy with the color of the text right now, so I'll leave that alone. To go back to the normal state, go back up to the top here, under state, go ahead and select normal. And so now this is what the button looks like when we hover over it. All right, so to customize the button text, simply click on it and start typing. And then let's say we want this button to take people to a landing page where they can sign up to get a free ebook. So let's make sure that the button element is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then let's go to Animation and Action. And there's already a link in place here, so let's click on the pencil icon to edit it. And if you start typing the name of the page, it should pop up. So it would be easiest if you create your landing page before setting up this link. Next, let's customize our menu. So the menu color here does need to be changed, so let's select the menu, make sure that a menu item is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then let's go to the typography tab and let's change the color here. As you can see, that changed the color for all of the other menu items, and that's thanks to the grouping feature. Now, if I hover over a menu item, you'll see that it disappears, and that is because in the hover state, we have black text on a black background. So we'll need to go ahead and change the hover state setting. So let's go to Menu Item, State, and let's select Hover. And in the typography tab, let's go ahead and select a new color for our text. Now let's switch back to the normal state. And as you can see, when I hover my mouse over it, the text changes color. Next, let's customize this menu. So the custom menu element is very powerful. Now, first of all, if you would like to change up the look completely, you can do so by clicking on an item and making sure that custom menu is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then you can go to the palette icon on the left, and then you can choose a new menu style. So I'm happy with the current style, so I'll simply close this window. For now, let's go ahead and customize the text and links in the menu. So to do that, make sure that custom menu is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, then go to the main options tab, and then at the bottom of that tab, click on menu items. To edit an item, click on the pencil icon, and I'll go ahead and type in a label. For the button link, I do want a static link, and then for the URL, you can simply start typing the name of the page and it should pop up. Now I won't need these sub-menu items, so to get rid of those, I'll simply click the trash can icon. If you need to reorder these items, you can do so by simply clicking and dragging on the dotted lines. Okay, so let's input the menu item labels and links. Now in the name of creating something that's just a little more unique, let's also add icons to our menu. For more in-depth information about adding icons and images to your menu, we do have an entire video on how to do that, which we will link for you. So let's go ahead and select a menu item. Make sure that menu item is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then let's go to the main options tab here. And under display, let's select icon and text. Okay, so that added a star icon to each of our menu items. Let's change the icon by going to the icon field here. And you can use the search field in the upper left-hand corner to search for something specific. I'll choose this one. Now, if you like, you can choose where the icon goes in relationship to the text. I like it on the left best. And let's go ahead and select an icon color. Now you can choose a different icon for each menu item if you like, and that will be explained in the video that goes more in depth. For now, I'm happy with this, so let's go ahead and click Done to click out of the header, and let's move on to the next section. All right, so we've gotten a lot done already, but we still have more to do. This is a little bit of a longer video because more customizations take a little more time. So let's just take a break here and we will pick up with part 2. And don't miss it because I think you'll be interested to see just how different the site can look with these customizations.